Here, this game between Reti and Tartakoa is possibly one of the shortest games in which a master was checkmated. Okay, let's have a look. Reti was white. He gets the pawn into the centre. Black plays the Caro-Kann. White gets the second pawn into the centre. Black gets a pawn into the centre, supported by a pawn and a queen. White brings out a knight, defending his pawn. Pawn is exchanged, knight recaptures. Now, Black does an unusual here. Main moves would be bishop f5. Another move is knight d7. And knight f6 was played. Now usually here, white exchanges knight, but white chose to develop the queen and defend the knight. Now black sacrifices a pawn. Moves the pawn into the centre. White takes the pawn. But black sees he can win the pawn back with a fork. Queen check, and attacking the pawn at the same time. Bishop box check, queen takes pawn. So black has regained his pawn and is attacking the pinned knight twice. So surprisingly, white didn't defend the knight but castled. Now, if black takes with the queen, that's a disaster because the rook can pin the queen to the king and win the queen. So black had some safe moves here, but his king's looking a little bit open. White has castled and black hasn't. So black took the knight, and what he was expecting was the rook would pin the knight to the king. Black would defend with the pawn. White would attack the pawn. White would win the piece back, but black is okay. But instead, white played a shocker here. He sacrificed his queen. Check. Looks like a crazy move. Just giving up his queen for nothing. But now, the black king has been tempted into the line of the rook, and white has got lots of discovered checks with the bishop. Any bishop moves is discovered check. The most powerful type of discovered check is a double check. The bishop could come over here, double check, but that's not as strong as what was played. So the bishop came out over here. Now black is in check from the bishop and the rook. In a double check, the king always has to move. Move the king up here, and the bishop came in mate. It's quite unusual, mate. Notice how many of the black pieces are blocking the king. On the previous move, black could have moved the king to here instead, but it wouldn't have helped him because black gets mated in a similar way to how Morphy mated the Duke of Brunswick and the Count Isouard. Rook moves down next to the king, guarded by the bishop mate. So, if we back up a few moves, the queen sacrifice forced checkmate in 3, so black should not have taken the knight. So, yeah, I thought it was a pretty interesting game. It's not often a master gets mated so quickly. So thanks for watching.